Go. I don't know how you know all this stuff is working.
Well, Coach's Show with Coach Sean Thompson. And gosh, we got a lot to talk about. Been a lot of changes since last week. There's been a lot of changes since yesterday.
Yeah.
So many things are going on that we need to talk about. I hope our live feed is going. It looks like I'm looking at all our monitors here, so I hope we're live right now. Coach Thompson, this week we were supposed to actually host. Then we were going to go to Paintsville when they didn't want to come here, backed out because of the COVID situation. And then that was off, and now we're going to Union.
It's difficult because you never know what the next day is going to bring. So every morning I wake up, expecting to hear that call. That's the day that it's all shut down and all that, which is not a good place to be. It's difficult. For me, I'm typically a fun, happy football, let's go guy, but it's just difficult. You never know what the next day is going to bring. And this week, it's been so many changes. The Paintsville game was something that we wanted. It's one of those marquee games where you determine if you're one of those teams or not, because in the top of Class A for however many years now. And we wanted to see if what we really were, what we're really about here, and that just didn't really work out. But with things happening, it's just smarter for us to travel closer to home in these unknown times, and you never know, and the different situations can come up. So I think that the administration team at the school made a good decision for us to stay home. Even though I hate it as a football coach, it's probably better off this way.
Well, I know a lot of people were looking at that Paintsville-Crittenden County game as a premier game in state. I posted it on Twitter yesterday, and I checked this morning. It had somewhere getting pretty close to 10,000 views. So people were interested in that. And the Crittenden County fans will be just as interested maybe in this rematch with Union County, a team that beat us 14-0 last year over there. So we're going to go back and play them, and they have a lot of seniors on this football team, 13 seniors. Serious challenge.
For sure, Union County is always a tough team. They have physical kids, and they just love to get after you. It'll be a very physical game. One that we look forward to every year, being neighboring counties, and a lot of the dads working together in the coal mines, and a lot of the kids growing up together, just the relationships there. And, me and Derek, the head coach over there, me and him being as close as we are, there's just connections there all the way up and down across the board. So it's one of those games that you look forward to every year.
Of course, Derek Johns, he's been there 5 seasons. This is his 6th year. Quite a long time, really, for a coach at Union County. When you look back over the past couple of decades, now Steve Carter was there a few years, and I can't remember
Josh
all
Boston
of
was
Boston.
after him. Yeah. Well, Derek is a Union County boy for
Played
life.
there.
He's not going anywhere. They got the right man when they hired him. And he's a good guy. He's passionate about Union County football, and he's done a great job since he's taken over.
I want to remind everyone that we do have our COVID screen here. I don't know if you can see it. You may see a little line there on your monitor, your phone, whatever you're watching on. We're sitting close together. Tough times here in Crittenden County. Last week our numbers of the past few days have been mighty high, but I did see they're coming down gradually. Only one reported case today. So our incidence rate is really starting to drop, and that's positive for all these guys that want to keep playing sport.
Yeah, and it's these times are hard, but the school district and our athletic teams are doing everything in our power to make sure that Well, number one, it's safe for our kids, our athletes, our students, and making sure that they can do the things that they want to do, such as go to school and it be as normal as possible, or take part in sports. And it's tough when these numbers keep showing that may not be the case, and it's just not. It's difficult.
It is difficult.
It's difficult.
I noticed that a lot of the doctors in the area are reporting that they're treating a lot of anxiety right now. I get a little bit. You get. I noticed you've had a little bit of anxiety with all these changes on the fly.
It's tough. You just never. It's like I said. You never know what the next day is going to bring. You try to do everything you can make the best possible decision for as many people as you can, but there's no way you can make everyone happy in times like this, and it's difficult when you're trying to please people.
Sure. One thing we know that does stay the same are Rocket fans and our Rocket supporters, and we want to thank Whitetail Properties, Mark Williams, agent, for being our primary sponsor for the Coaches Show, the Sideline Reports, a lot of things we do. But we have many other partners in this, and I want to take an opportunity to mention some of those right now. And they will be also the partners in our broadcast live from the football game over at Union County, Morganfield tomorrow night. It will be broadcast live with our team of Mike Crabtree, Tanner Tabor, and Ethan Dossett. We're going to try to do the sideline stuff and do the play-by-play too. So y'all pray for us, because this is a lot of technology we're kind of doing on the wing here. But really appreciate our partners. I'll mention some of them right now. Shara Solutions on the New York Stock Exchange, Homestead Realty when you're buying or selling real estate in Crittenden County or in the nearby area, Farmers Bank, your trusted hometown bank since 1899, Riley Tool and Machine, they're grinding away for every Friday night football game. Are you ready for a new bank? Now, let's get right to the football game. Union County, this is their first game of the season. They were 6-6 last year. One of those wins was against us. They lost to Paducah Tillman twice during the regular season and in the playoffs in the second round. They returned, as mentioned, 13 starters. These guys, we're not real sure who the quarterback is going to be. They got a couple of different guys.
They'll go with the Shepherd kid. He'll be a sophomore.
And then Alan Boyd is a senior,
which we've seen him before. A couple years ago, he played against us, but last year he was injured. He had a knee injury.
Alan Elam, I should say.
Yes, he's a very explosive kid. He'll be a big key to what they do, and getting them back will make them very explosive offensively, and he'll be a big playmaker on defense as well. But the Shepherd kid is young. I think he's a sophomore, and he's tough. He's a boys quarterback and really good in their system. So I think that playing him at quarterback provides them the opportunity to put the Elam kid out wide and really create mismatches.
The premier, I guess, player on this football team, at least offensively, is the running back who they lost for a good bit of the year last year, Corinthian Portisales.
Yeah.
Am I saying that right? You know all these Union
I can't tell you.
Seals Porti.
There you go.
Corinthian Seals Porti. Yeah.
I know he's big, physical, and can move. That's all you need to know. His name doesn't matter.
He did not play against us last year, but did the year before.
Yes, he's a big physical back, and they're going to run through him. That Union County's going to run the football, and a majority of those carries are going to go through him, and they should. He's the type of back that he can take you down the field piece by piece, but he can also break the big run and hit a home run on you as well. I mean, he's a load to take down, but he's a true athlete with the ability to go 99. So we're going to have to stop. We're going to stop him first if we want to stop Union County.
And we did a good job defensively last week stopping the run, fewer than 100 yards rushing. So that'll be a key factor in the game. Then they have another running back, a couple more, Chris Hughes and is it Kanye Pollard?
Kanye.
Okay, Kanye. Oh, yeah, I know. Kanye's back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's quick as a cat.
Yeah, he is, and he's gonna.
And Chris is.
I recognized his name in that situation.
I should have known that
So
too.
remember that, Kanye. When you're talking trash to me, remember that.
Kanye played Little League for the travel football team that we were associated with years ago. He's a great player, good
He's a
kid.
very good.
So
kid.
is Chris Hughes.
Yeah, that's Sleepy.
Sleepy.
I call back when I worked over there, the Little League camp. He'd come out there. Kid was so fast, but he'd come out there every morning at Little League camp. He'd be sleepy. You know, he's tired. Come on, Sleepy, you gotta wake up. So for me, it's stuck. It's I'm not. I don't know if I'm supposed to say hi to you, but you know, Sleepy.
Well, you have obviously a relationship and coached over there for what, 6 years, 5 or 6 years? Was it that long?
5, 4 or 5, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been coaching forever now.
These receivers, Ben Shreve's a pretty good ball player.
Yeah, for sure. I think he played quarterback. He's a guy that's moved all over the field over his high school career, but he's an athlete. With what they do, he's a person that can be dangerous catching that ball in space and then making big plays out of it. So he's just a guy we got to watch.
And they got a pretty good kicker. He's pretty accurate. And
they always have some active kick over there.
And I didn't mention Iverson King is a real good offensive player.
Yeah, and he's really a really good defensive end. He's a difference maker on the defensive side of the ball. Against us last year, he injured his hand. So we got lucky in a sense there, but he's a guy that we got to make sure that we get somebody on when we're on offense because he is a problem.
Darius Moore is a lineman that goes both ways. He's a good player. Of course, Jaden Hancock and Davis Pike and Andre Elam are also returning up front or linebackers. They're pretty good ball players.
Yeah, they're full of good players over there. Union County's got tough, strong, physical, athletic kids, and they're going to come out and try to bring it to us.
We'll take a little break while we have a moment to, again, thank some of our sponsors for helping promote this Coach's Show as well as all the other broadcasts and things that we do online for Rocket football. Deer Lakes Golf Course is home of the Rocket golf team. Sea Plant Federal Credit Union, they're now on Main Street in Marion. Johnson's Furniture is your top choice for sales and service. Ellington Detailing, where they keep our rockets looking mighty sharp, at least our wheels. And Par 4 Plastics, their team is rocket proud. Speaking of Ellington Detailing, that brings up one point. Let's talk a little bit about rocket personnel. Rommel Ellington, who is Ellington Detailing, his son Ian, a big part of this football team, and he got hurt this week.
Yeah, he took a shot just above his knee. A little bruising in there and swelling.
With his knee history, we really kind of get concerned.
Yeah, you get concerned with it, and it is on that list, the swelling. He's 1,000 times more mobile today than he was yesterday. He could hardly walk. But you know how it is when you have a contusion or something like that. That's what it seems like. We still have to monitor that and make sure there's nothing more. Which with him, it's hard to tell because of what he's gone through with that knee anyway. So we'll continue to monitor it, and if he's good to go, he'll go. If he's not, then we'll have to make it work.
Of course, he plays both ways some of the time, but does play some defense at linebacker. I always like to ask this question: if he's not able to go, who's the next guy in line? We'd like to hear.
If he's not able to go, what you'll get is you'll see Noah McGowan go more on the offensive side of the ball, and we'll bump Dylan Yates over. But you also see a person like Coleman Stone come in and play some guard where he typically just plays linebacker for us. There's a lot of combinations you see. Another switch that you'll see this week on our line is we're going to start the McGahan Zach. He's going to start at center this week in place of Ben. And
had a little trouble out Ben this week.
Yeah, had a little trouble. Just staying engaged is the problem.
I know his father's talked to him.
Yeah. Yeah, so to create competition, where competition has to be had, and that's what's happening. And Zach does a good job. He'll go in there and he'll get his chance to show us what he can do. and that's what you have to be a good football team. You have to be able to create that competition. There has to be competition in order for you to get better every day. So our line, it looked a little different at times, and if Ian can't go, that's the heart of that line. But you still got guys out there play football, and they'll fill in and do a good job, I'm sure.
I know you've been trying to get Holden Cooksey ready. He has some asthma and some
he's just been struggling with some issues, and we're just trying to get him where he needs to be able to go in a football game. He's a guy for us. He's obviously a starter for us, but he's struggling right now to be able to go more than a series at a time. So I think what we're going to do is give Counts an opportunity to go in that spot, who had a really good 3-week summer, coming into the season, and really opened our eyes. He's a guy that should be on the field. We're going to give him an opportunity to go there, and what we'll use is Cooksey in that role to come in and give us a series at a time, because that's what he can give us. And it's not that Cooksey hasn't worked. Cooksey works as hard as anybody. He's just struggling right now. We just got to get it figured out.
Counts came in and played a bunch of downs last week.
Yeah, the whole second half he went at tackle, left tackle for us, and did a really good job. He's just young, you get those young guys in the fire, and then they show you what they're made of, and he did that, and really does a good job like that. You want to reward them and give them an opportunity to continue, and you never know what they turn into,
I want to take an opportunity here again to thank some of our partners in our Coaches Show and all of our other broadcasts. And again, we will be broadcasting the game live from Morgan Field tomorrow night, God willing, and we have internet service that is capable of handling. We think we will. We're set to do it. I want to thank Al Starnes, Coldwell Banker, Real Estate Coach, H&H Home and Hardware, everything you need to stay in the game. Marion Eye Care Center, optometrist Adria Porter, Frazier and Massey, attorneys at law in Marion, Kentucky, and Magnolia Bank, Derek Myers, mortgage specialist. Coach Thompson, what are the keys? Offensively, our defense played really, I'd say, lights out. Gave up one late touchdown, but other than that, a couple of field goals, and then they scored on another play. The defense did. So we've got an opportunity here to kind of right the ship offensively, if you will. What are some things that we can expect to see this week that you think maybe we just never emerged last week?
Discipline is the big thing. We found ourselves with opportunities to do things, big things. We move the ball, get down to the 20, penalty or a miss assignment or something.
Mm-hmm.
One person not doing their job. And it seems like we have a lot of that, especially the last 2 years, where we get it going good, and then here we go with a penalty or a misassignment. We've tried to clean that up this week, but with all the chaos, it was a difficult week. So I expect it to still be sloppy, because up till yesterday, right before practice, now we're preparing for Union County when you have a painful practice schedule, and it's difficult to just flip and go. It's a good thing that we know Union County and what Union County does, and play them consistently. It'd be a lot harder if it was the other way around. Yeah. But it's two different teams that do two different things, and so not making the mistakes and make sure we stay disciplined. That's 100% it. Offensively, we weren't as bad as I thought we were, as bad as I felt Friday night after watching the film. And I still believe that today. As long as we stay within ourselves, we'll be okay. We'll get it going. We'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. On defense, as we mentioned, really played, I thought, incredibly well most of the night, and held a pretty good Caldwell offense to one touchdown. And usually when your defense holds the other team to one touchdown, you expect to win a football game. Yeah. What on defense did you see that you really thought was we had a good night, football night on defense, but then also how will that transition into playing Union County and the way they will approach us and attack us with their running game?
Yeah, I really feel like Union County's strength plays into our strength defensively. To answer your question, the physicality that the defense brought was surprising to me. how physical we played. We took it to Caldwell defensively, and really caused problems for them at times. And I feel like with Union County's, they're going to run it at you and try to be physical, and you have to match that physicality in order to be successful against them. And I feel like their strength is our strength. So it's going to be a battle of the team who bends the less.
As far as individual performances at Caldwell County, and then again how that might come over into this week, who are we going to continue to see? I mean, we know Tyler Boone is going to be there, Braxton Winters, and Caden McAllister, and some of the other guys, Dylan Yates. Who else is emerging, really starting to come on in this defense?
Luke Mundy really played well for us last week. He was in a three-way battle, and I really feel like he went out there and basically opened our eyes. There was some things that you struggle with because he's a former linebacker, and now you put him in space coverage.
He's that hybrid defensive back linebacker type.
He did a really good job, And then another one is Dobbins. Dobbins really came out and was extremely physical and really fit in with what we're trying to do defensively, and didn't make mistakes and make plays. So he's a guy who, when you do that, you have to reward him and give him more reps, more opportunities, because if they're going to be efficient as he was, you want to make sure that he's on the field and give him opportunities to make those plays. And then Logan Bailey continues to be he does a really good job. Just does what he's supposed to do. He's quiet, he even asks his questions quiet, he just does what he's supposed to do, and he gave up a perfectly thrown ball in man coverage. Caldwell's really good at throwing that fake ball, and he was in great position. It's just a better play by the offense, but to the untrained eye, it looks like he got burnt, but he was actually in a really good position. Just a great play. He's a guy that's going to really be good in our secondary, and it allows us not to have to play Xander as much on defense.
Yeah. Xander last week caught that middle screen at Caldwell and hurt his back, got hit in the back, I think, on the tackle, and was kind of he kind of limped around, laid on the sideline a little bit last week. How is he recovering from that?
Oh, I think that Xander lives in a state of feeling it because of the type of runner that he is. He's a physical runner, but he took that shot. It was a blind shot. He didn't see it coming. He really got bent up a little bit there, but he's tough. He's a kid. He practiced all week. He's ready to go. You just don't want him to take those unnecessary shots he doesn't have to take because of the type runner that he is, all that wear and tear on his body. But he's okay. That
middle screen's a tough one sometimes because you kind of if your ball's high, you get yourself exposed. Yeah. And if you remember, that's how your brother-in-law, TK Guess, broke his collarbone in that year that he was having such a great year.
Yeah. I don't remember.
I don't think you were on that team.
No, I wasn't. I remember him breaking it, though.
I remember it very clearly because I walked by Coach Starnes. The only time he's ever listened to anything I believe I've ever said, I said, middle screen's open. And he called it, then he break. He said, you'll never call another play in your life. I want to take a moment here to thank some more of our partners. YTG Insurance, call for a quote today, and Mike and Stoner's Barbershop, where a haircut is always an adventure and an experience. And those two, the owners of those two businesses, Mike Crabtree and Tanner Tabor, will be on your crew broadcasting the game, as well as former Rocket Ethan Dossett. Those guys do a great job, Coach Dossett. Those guys do a great job, Coach Thompson. They pretty compliment one another and do a great job.
I'm going to have to go back and watch one of the recordings.
Yeah, you should do it. I think a couple of those guys are already in professions and probably don't need a new career, but I think Ethan Dossett has a career in television if he wants it.
Yeah, he's always a character.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. All right, Coach Thompson, let's kind of wrap this up. Again, just been a crazy week, and you alluded to something a second ago about you were planning for Paintsville, the team we played in 1985 last time we had seen them. A lot's changed since then. Of course, played them in the state championship game and beat them 14-6. But that was a team, explosive team, a lot of different things you had to prepare for, and a great number 2 team in Class A. But now we turn our attention to Union County. I'm sure you didn't have, you know what they do, but you didn't have film on them like you did to study and break down things on Sunday. And so what did you do?
You pivoted. You just stopped and you changed directions. The good thing is the kids have been resilient in all this from the beginning. They've already been on the roller coaster. They know the ride. So they've been great. You just got to keep it simple. It's short. You talk about short weeks sometimes. If you play a Saturday game, you lose that extra day to prepare for the next week. Well, we lost a whole week to prepare for a game, but you keep it simple and let the kids play, and hopefully your kids are tougher than the other kids. And I really feel like we have a lot of tough kids, a lot of dogs that can really push us over the top this week and give us an opportunity to be in the game.
One last thing we want to mention is there are some more tickets available. This week, Union County handled things a little bit different than what we saw last week. Oh, okay. I know you've been burning up on your phone this week with, it means so much to people to go to these games, and we understand. But they're going to release some more tickets on Friday morning, and explain the details of that.
Yes, number one, before we get into that, I want everybody to understand that we want everyone there. We want everyone there. But it is our job to make sure that the families of these kids have the opportunity to watch them. I'll say it again, I've said it before. There was a time not very long ago that we all were saying we would give up everything just for the kids to have an opportunity. And that's where we're at. So when we get these tickets, however they're given to us, that's what's best for these kids. And based off what the other schools do when we go other places is how we divvy that up. It was easy with Caldwell. They gave us 120 tickets in my hand, physical tickets. It was easy to do.
And you knew where they went.
Yeah, we were able to split that up and make it fair. But what Union County is doing, which is very similar to what we're going to do for our visiting teams, is they gave us a link, and I put the link out to the families, and that's what
Privately to your group.
Privately, and then it went like that. I can't control what they do when they go on and they buy the tickets.
You just have to be mindful. Buy just your tickets that you're going to use, and let everybody
That's
else.
what we tried to say. Now, with that being said, there was, even like our coaches, so our spouses, you don't know in that moment because it's been put out so quickly. We didn't have a choice but to put it out. They're getting tickets and all that stuff. So there's tickets available, and there's more tickets going to be made available tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. They're going to post some more tickets.
8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, 8 o'clock in the morning.
And that will be on the school's
ticket
website, on your link, on your where you're selling home tickets, or on. Okay, but the school district has that on their Facebook page, right? Is that where
we shared their Facebook post.
So it's out there. Go find that. Know where it's at. So at 8 o'clock in the morning, you can start
back to Ticket Leap, and you can search it. And ticketing game.
That's the same link that we use, Ticket Link. Yeah. I'll see if I can't find that and get it on our website tonight.
TicketLeap.com, and there will be more tickets there. Now, but you got to understand, there's only so many, and that's between Crittenden and Union. I just appreciate Union County being willing to provide more space in their stadium. They have a really big stadium. But with that being said, we got to make sure we do our part. It can't be a problem where we're just running around free, talking to everybody, going and mingling amongst their crowds, and just taking our masks off and not doing the things we're supposed to do because they've stepped out on a limb to provide opportunity. Since there were so many people that didn't get opportunity at tickets, we got to make sure we do our part so we can continue to play.
And these are bring your own seat tickets, right? You have to bring a lawn chair, and these tickets you're going to get tomorrow.
And I recommend everybody from Crittenden County make sure you take a chair with you. I really do, just so if there's not a seat in the bleacher, you have all that grass. They have so much grass in the stadium, you can sit somewhere. Because the key is make sure we social distance. We got to stay away from people right now. This is what it is. So In order to be able to continue playing football, in order to be able to play next week, we want to make sure we make it through this week, and we have to do the things that we're supposed to do. We don't want to be the problem.
Sure. The fan experience is so different
But
this year.
But it's different for us as well.
Sure.
It's, typically we feed off the fans, and it's hard to do. Not as many people there, but there'll be a nice crowd there. And really and truly, I want to say this also, I'm sorry I keep going, and there's just not that many available. In the end, when the tickets are all given out, it's about the same number of people in the stadium for a game. It's not really any different than what we usually have outside of one of our big union counties or Crittenden counties.
That's the thing. We're starting the season with those two games that everybody wants to see. They circle them early. Those are the games I'm going to. So it has been tough.
But with that being said, I don't know if you've released it yet, but we are playing Murray next week.
I was going to ask you about that.
So we're playing Murray High School.
We were supposed to play Union County next week. That became a vacant date, and Murray was open, so we're going to play Murray High, a 2A team. Team we're very familiar with historically, and they have one of the best players in certainly West Kentucky, in Sebastian Lawrence. I don't know,
really good team. They're coached well. But they're going to come to Crittenden County, and we're going to get an opportunity at a home game, recognizing our seniors. So,
senior.
Yeah, well, we're going to recognize a full-out senior night, but we're going to look at recognizing our seniors and make sure we have that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
But my thing is for an actual senior night, you hope things get better. So you want it to be as close to normal as possible. But we want to make sure we recognize those guys throughout the year. When you see things like Young Rocket Nights, you lose that, and your pink caps and your homecoming's gone, all that stuff. It's an opportunity to recognize those guys. So we'll look into that.
If you had any hair, you'd be pulling it out. You're just so short, you don't know. Pull it out.
It's falling.
And it's staying mighty dark too, despite all you're going through. I feel for you. I feel for everybody, the administration, the school district. Such a great job, leadership, as we've been plowing through this very difficult time. We appreciate all of our partners. We appreciate Whitetail Properties, Mark Williams, agent, for being our primary sponsor for our broadcast. Coach Thompson, good luck over at Morganfield. Let's go get those Braves.
For sure.
All right.
And this is the weird part where you leave me on live. I know.